And I'll count us down so we can start together from three, two, one. Let's hit start. All right, let's start this week in our usual sitting position, something comfortable, relaxed, yet alert, sitting up tall, and lengthening your spine, gently closing your eyes to begin. Then we'll take three deep breaths together. So breathing in through the nose. And then as you breathe out, pay attention to how the air feels against your lips. See how long you can take with the out breath. Okay, number two, let's breathe in through the nose, sitting up a little bit taller. And then once again, long breath out. Okay, third one, let's take a deep breath in and long controlled breath out. We can resume a normal breathing pattern. Let's begin to relax our body from top to bottom, seeing how our body feels right now at the beginning of the week, beginning of the day. So let's plug the crown of our heads up towards the ceiling like there's a string from the top of our head all the way up. The rest of our body is just hanging down below that point. From the crown of our head, we go down to our forehead, ironing out any wrinkles there. Okay, softening our eyelids even more. And then down to our cheeks, our lips, and our jaw. So our whole face. We're relaxing our necks as it holds up our head. And then noticing where our neck connects to our shoulders. And then let's notice how our arms feel from our shoulders to our biceps and triceps down to the forearms, into our wrists and hands. Okay, whether your hands are palms up or resting on your knees, maybe they're clasped together in your lap, it doesn't matter. Just relaxing your arms. And then as we begin to breathe in, notice how your chest feels expanding, contracting, and then down our spine, our bellies, all the way to the base of our spine, to our glutes touch your mat. All right, from our glutes through your hamstrings and quads to the knees, wrapping around down through the shins, from the shins and calves to the heels and feet. That's the whole body. Continue to breathe as we sit here. Hopefully, we feel pretty relaxed now. Right, let's take one more deep breath in. Let's hold it at the top. Let's gently exhale. We open up our eyes, readjust to the light. Oh, and let's start with twisting our torso clockwise. Ooh, okay. Pressing the right hand into the ground, left hand's into the right knee. Spine is nice and tall as we twist and push. And then as we unwind, we exhale back to center for a moment, and then over to the left. And let's twist our spines in the opposite direction. We press the right hand to the left knee, turning the chin towards the left shoulder. And then just like the other side, unwind and exhale. Oh, and then let's look up and reach up. Okay, really reach. Let's start on the right side, the sitting side stretch. The right palm is planted on the mat. Left arm is reaching over your body towards the upper right hand corner of the room. Okay, turning the chin as we look up, but keeping the left sit bone planted. All right, gently lifting the right hand back up top, planting the left palm. Right arm reaches over your body. We turn the chin, look up once again. Okay, hopefully feel that stretch all the way down your hip. And then let's lift the left hand up. Then bring the hands back to center. Let's get our necks. So let's sit on the right fingertips. Left arm reaches over your head, pulling your head to the left. Okay. And that right shoulder should be being pulled down towards your mat. And then roll the head forward, rolling the head back. Uh, okay. And find any tight spots you might have. I'm going to do one more cycle at my own pace. I want to release the head and then switch sides. So sitting on the left hand, left fingertips, right hand pulls the head over to the right, left shoulder is reaching down to the ground. And then at your own pace, do 2 cycles of rolling the head forward and back as needed. And I'm gonna release my head, get off the left fingertips. Let's do our cobbler pose for the inner thighs. So bring the soles of the feet together. Knees drop down as you gently pull your heels in. We're leaning forward, back is straight. We're trying to touch our belly button to our heels. And every time you exhale, pull yourself in a little bit more. We're going to breathe in through the nose and then exhale, rounding out our backs, reaching forward. Ooh. And then we'll sit up and we'll do some knee drops, taking our time getting there. And of course, going at your own pace, but I will call it out just give some sort of structure. And then over to the left for me. Over right. Maybe second time on the left. Last time on the right. Ugh. Last time on the left. All right, knees back up top. We're gonna do legs flat but out wide. Okay, very similar to what we were doing earlier, but legs are out rather than feet together. And just reach forward. Beginning a hamstring stretch. We'll still do our usual ones. Ooh. And then reach over the right foot. And then we'll go over to the left before we stand up. All right, that's enough of that. Let's stand up and do more hamstring action. Okay. Super wide stance, toes facing forward. Legs are straight. We look up. We reach the arms up. And then we exhale gently. Okay, we're swan diving. We're coming down. Legs are straight, looking through our legs towards the back of the room. And we're letting gravity do the stretching. Let gravity do all the work. And every time you exhale, we relax further, letting the stretch get deeper. And then we're going to fold our arms and rest our head on our forearms and rock side to side. Ugh. Ooh. All right. Let's plant our right palm on the floor, on right fingertips, pressing that right hand to the ground, left arm reaches up to the ceiling, turn the chin and look up. And in addition to pressing that right hand to the ground, you can kind of press it towards the right to open up the left shoulder and chest a little bit more. And then we're going to gently bring the left hand down and plant that left palm into the floor as we rotate the right hand up. And same thing, press and turn with that left hand. And then let's connect the breath with the movement. So exhale gently as that right arm comes down. And we're back to where we started. Hopefully the hamstrings are starting to really open up there. And of course, we can't forget the hips. So we're going to rotate 90 degrees to the left, be in a low lunge. Okay. And then gently dropping the right knee down, bring the arms and torso up. All right. And then rotating the hips forward. Feel the stretch in the right hip. Add the right arm as needed. You want to pull it from the top and the bottom. You can reach over your head to the left. And then a little side action. Ooh. All right. I'm going to drop the right hand down. Gently lean forward, lifting the right knee. And we're back in a low lunge on the left. And we're going to rotate back to center. Ooh. And then let's rotate to the right 90 degrees until we're in a low lunge on the right. Ooh. Okay, dropping the left knee down. Torso comes up, rotating the hip, stretching out the left hip flexor. Ooh. I'm gonna hold this one for 3, 2, 1. And then let's bring the torso forward, lifting the left knee. And let's come back to the starting position. Exhale deeply, get a little bit lower. All right. Let's let the upper body dangle, heads and arms, just letting gravity take over. And we're going to straighten up on a 10 count. So 1, 2, 3, nice and controlled. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the legs back together. Let's do a standing side stretch. You can either go feet completely together or slightly apart, depending on how much balance you want to add, up to you. But we're standing tall. Eyes look up as we reach up. Try to touch your ceiling. I'm going to start on the left for this one. So kicking out the right hip, right arm goes over your head for a standing side stretch. And it's just like the sitting version with some balance, but with some balance, I should say. But feel the stretch go through or from your hips through your body to your right fingertips. Chin and eyes are up. Ooh. And then let's lift the left arm, dropping the right hand down, kicking out the left hip. Ooh. Okay, give yourself one last reach with that left hand, and then gently lift the right arm back up. And then we'll bring the hands to heart center, keeping it there as we find a medium width stance with our feet, toes facing out. And then let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And then as we exhale, we lower ourselves down for Balasana. We know it was coming. Okay. Finding whatever position feels good to feel the stretch, especially in the inner thighs. And settle with the breath as you settle with the movement. We'll stay here for three, two, one. Hands go there for support if you need it. As we gently come up. Oh, all right. Let's do one where there's a little less strenuous stretching. So let's get the shoulder, the left arm across the top. Mm. All right, let's swap arms. So right arm across the top. Ooh, feel my shoulder more so on this side than the other side. All right, we're gonna release the right arm. Let's get the left tricep. So left arm's behind the head, pulling on that left elbow. And then we're releasing. Let's hit the other side. Ugh. Okay, and releasing the right elbow. Let's get a classic neck stretch. I'm gonna grab my left wrist behind my back, dropping my right ear to my right shoulder. And let's turn the chin, look up. And gently rolling the head forward as we look down at the ground. Okay, back to neutral. Okay, swapping wrists. We're grabbing the right wrist, dropping the head over to the left. And as you exhale, see if you can drop your head a little bit further, accentuating the stretch on the right. Let's roll the head forward and look down. All right. And turning the chin up to the ceiling. All right, and then back to neutral. Back up top, and let's release that right wrist. Let's do a split leg hamstring stretch. I'm gonna start with my left. Heels are in line, left leg is straight, arms come up. And let's exhale as you swan dive down. Ugh, back to the hamstring. Back to the favorites. Ugh. Drive that right hip forward towards the left ankle. Ugh. All right, let's bend the left knee and come on up and switch legs or rotate 180 degrees, whichever works best for you. But that left or right leg is straight, heels are in line, arms reach up as we look up. And we're going to exhale forward, driving the left hip forward towards the right ankle. Let's bend the right knee and come on up towards the short side of your mat. Okay, towards the front of your mat. Let's stand up nice and tall. Let's look up as we bring the arms up and do two warm-up swan dives. So we're swan diving down, up to flat back, resting the hands on the shins of the knees. And as you exhale here, round out your back, reach for the ground, eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top for one. Let's swan dive down, up to flat back. Exhale, rounding enter back, eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And let's do our third swan dive in the morning. All the way down, up to flat back. And then as we exhale here, let's plant both palms and step back into plank. Let's chaturanga down to our upward dog. Oof. Okay, back to plank. Push up here if you want. On your way to downward dog. Maybe your shoulders crack, maybe they don't. But push the floor away evenly with the hands. Fingers are spread. Legs are straight for this initial downward dog. Let's bicycle the legs. So bending the left, focusing just the right. And switch, bending the right knee, driving the left heel down. And switch. And switch one more time. And then come into neutral downward dog. Let's do our crescent pose. So bring your feet and legs together. And let's start with the right side. So right leg goes up into the air. And then swing your right leg through and plant it in front. Knee is tracking over the ankle. Left leg is straight. Arms are reaching up. No flare at the elbow. That left heel is reaching down to the mat. And as you exhale, see if you can sink a few millimeters deeper into the pose. Getting ready for prayer twist. So let's bring the hands together at heart center and come to prayer twist on the right. So that left elbow is making contact with the right knee and right quad. Hands are stacked. Forearms in a nice straight line. Right elbow is facing the ceiling. All right, we'll gently come out and reach the arms up. Ooh, all right, let's bring the arms and torso back down to the ground. Plant palms. Right leg comes back to plank, and then we're going to chaturanga down into an upward dog. And then we'll do a sun salutation before we hit the other side. So back to plank, walk the feet towards the hands, and reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And let's swan dive down. Okay, the ground's feeling real close now. Up to flat back. And let's exhale, round out that back, planting both palms. We're stepping back in the plank, and let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here if you like. We're backing down dog. Now we're rinse and repeat for the left. So feet and legs together. Float the left leg up into the air. Let's swing the left leg through it, planted in front. Arms come up. That right heel is reaching down to the ground. Settle with the breath. Maybe get a little bit deeper. And that right hip is feeling the stretch. Breathing in gently, then exhaling the hands together. And let's bring the right elbow in contact with the left knee. We're doing prayer twist on the left. What are we praying for this week? Let's pray that my job interview goes okay this morning. Why not? And everyone else that's job interviewing. Because the job market's tough. All right, let's exit with the right elbow. Arms and torso are back up top. And then as you breathe out once again, arms and torso come down to the ground. Plant both palms. Left leg comes back. Let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands for sun salutation. reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And then we're going to swan dive down, up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding out the back, planting both palms, stepping back into plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here. We're back in the downward dog, back on the right leg. Let's do our warrior sequence. Feet and legs together. Let's do 2 knee to noses. So lift the right leg up. Bring your right knee to your nose. Second time up. Drop the knee to the nose. Third time up. No more knee to nose. We're swinging our right leg through, planting it in front. And as your arms come up, your left heel comes down for warrior one. See how parallel to the ground you can get your right quad. Your mileage may vary. But square up the shoulders. Make sure they're straight as they can be and level. And then gently twist to the left for warrior two. Chin and eyes are facing forward. Arms are parallel to the ground. Palms face the ground. Give yourself a gentle exhale. Get a little bit deeper in that warrior two. Find your foundation. And let's dip back into reverse warrior. Okay, don't put too much weight on that back leg with that left hand. And reach for the back of the room with the right fingertips. Right arm is over your body. And then let's find warrior two once again. And let's reach forward as we get ready for triangle pose. Reach. Drop that right hand down to the ground. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. We're breathing. Turn the chin and eyes up to the ceiling, just like the left fingertips. Nice. All right, we're going to do the pretzel variation this week. So left arm goes behind the lower back. Oof. Right arm reaches underneath the right leg. We're turning and rotating as much as we can with that left shoulder as we look up, settling with the breath, and that right leg is working. We'll exit in 3, 2, 1. Hands release. Right hand's on the ground. Left fingertips reach up. All right, and we're going to pop back up rather, into warrior two. And then we're going to dip back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. And let's swing that left arm forward and up for warrior one. And then let's come down to the ground, planting with palms, stepping back into plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Ooh. Back to plank, walk the feet towards the hands. And reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Swan dive down. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding at your back, planting both palms. Let's step back into plank and let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here, and return to downward dog. And then we're going to do knee to nose. So bring your feet together and let's gently lift that left leg. Bring your knee to your nose. Okay, return the left leg up in the air. And then knee to nose. Third time up into the air. And then bring your left foot forward and plant it in front. And come into warrior one on the left. Palms are facing one another, arms are parallel. That right leg is straight. Plug in your foundation here. And then bring the arms front and back for warrior two, eyes and chin forward. Okay, don't let the arms droop. Arms are level. Then we're going to dip back into reverse warrior. Very nice. Okay, give yourself one little reach with those left fingertips towards the back. And then we'll return to warrior two. And then exhale deeply as you reach forward, 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 forward. And then drop that left hand or left fingertips to the ground as we turn our chins up. Right arm is reaching for the ceiling. Settle with your breath. All right, let's drop the right arm behind the lower back. The left arm reaches underneath your left hamstring, left leg. We're grabbing our hands. We're turning the right shoulder, opening up the chest as much as we can as we continue to look up. And breathe. In 3, 2, 1. Release hands. Left palm finds the mat. Right fingertips, right hands up in the air. And let's pop back up into warrior two. And then dipping back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. And right arm swings forward and up for warrior one. And as the arms come up, that right heel comes down, plant both palms. Left leg goes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Upward dog. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands, and in one motion, drop your bottom down. Arms come up for chair pose. Okay. Just like the warrior poses. Warrior one anyways. Arms are straight and parallel, palms face one another. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, straighten up your body and get off your heels. Okay, really work the calves. See how high you can get your heels off the ground while maintaining balance. Once you're at the top, settle with the breath. Let's breathe into the nose. And exhale to bring the hands together, heart center, heels come down. Let's do twisting chair pose to the right. So the left elbow makes connection with the right knee. Hands are stacked, knees are bent. And see how low you can bring your glutes without losing your balance. All right, let's come back to center and reach for the ceiling as our balance on our feet is on the balls of our feet and our toes. Heels reach up, calves are working. Once again, we're settling with the breath as we straighten up our arms a little bit more and continue to reach. It's an active pose. And then we're gently breathing in. And then exhaling, lowering the heels, hands come together, and we're twisting chair pose to the left. Once again, bending the knees as much as we can while maintaining balance. Ooh. All right, back to center. And we're gonna, for a third and final time, lift the heels, arms and fingers reach up. No flare at the elbow, really reach. Right, take a deep breath in through the nose. Then exhale the heels back down. Bring the hands to heart center. Oh, all right, let's do some tree pose. So I'm gonna put all my weight on my left leg, my left foot, get my right foot and right leg into position. Stand up as tall as you can. Add the arms wherever it feels good for you. Let's see if we can hold both sides for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that right leg out. Okay, roll the left ankle, and then let's get all our weight in our right foot and our right leg. Left foot comes into position. Adding the arms as needed. We're going to repeat 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, left leg comes out, shaking out that right ankle and right foot. All right, let's do a standing leg extension. We haven't done that one in a while, but we're back on our left leg. Okay, we're standing tall on our left leg. Let's hug the right knee in towards our chest. Okay, it's a three-stager, and you can choose whichever stage you want to go to. So that's stage one. Stage two is grabbing underneath the knee and kicking out the lower leg. So driving the heel out. Okay, if that feels good for you. Otherwise, you can go for toe lock. Okay, it's the same thing, but instead of grabbing behind the knee, it's grabbing the toe. We'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Bring that foot back in. Okay, shaking out the left ankle. All right, let's get the other side. So we're standing on our right foot. And let's hug in the left knee. Okay, let's see if you're as balanced on this side. Everyone could be a little bit different. That's okay. And then let's go for stage two. So underneath the knee, left heel kicks out. Finding your balance. And then going for toe lock. See if I can do both sides this week. We'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Let's shake out that right ankle as needed, and let's have a seat. Ooh. Oh. We're going to start with table as we usually do. So plant your feet in front, plant the wrists or the palms behind, and then prop yourself up, drive the hips up. Shoulders should be over the wrists, knees should be over the ankles. And it's an active pose. Once you get to the top, reach for those final millimeters. And every time you exhale, you definitely should push. Let's connect the breath with the movement. So breathe in through the nose. And then gently lower yourself back down. Controlled all the way. Let's lie down on our backs. Just do a glute bridge. All right, so roll onto your shoulders, push the floor away with your feet. Okay, don't let the knees bow out or in. They remain in that neutral centered position. That same thing for the glute bridge. Push your hips up to the ceiling. Feel that lower back and glutes, hamstrings, the classic foundational. Let's do 3 breaths here. Every time you exhale, let's push a little bit harder. So breathing into the nose and push. Once again, breathing in, and then exhale and push. Oof. I almost feel the front of my body stretching out now. All right, last time, breathing into the nose. And then push for a third time, work the glutes. And then as you exhale this fourth time, come back down. Gently, as always, it's all about control here. All right, let's stretch the glutes now that we just fired them up. Keeping the left foot planted, right ankle gets placed on the left knee. And we're grabbing the left shin. And let's stretch out that right glute. Repeating 3 breaths, but stretching, not strengthening. So breathe into the nose. And then a long breath out. Number 2, breathing in. And release. Last time for this side, breathe into the nose. And release and relax, breathing into the stretch. Okay. Hopefully that right glute's feeling the love, feeling the stretching. Let's let go of that left shin, planting the right foot. Left ankle gets into place. We're grabbing, pulling in that right shin. I'm going to breathe into the nose and out through the mouth. Number 2, breathing in. And then long exhale. Okay, last time, breathe into the nose and out to the mouth. Let's let go of the right shin, keeping or bringing both legs up into the air for happy baby. We're grabbing the outside parts of our feet, pulling in our knees towards our underarms. Okay, pull, 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 feel those inner thighs. And then rock left to right, then right to left. Okay. Once you start rocking, stop thinking about your feet, but instead focus on how your spine feels against your mat. I'm going to do this for a couple cycles. Release any tension here. Ooh. Okay, give yourself one last pull down to the ground on those feet. Feel those inner thighs stretch out a little bit more. And then relax, release the feet back down to the ground. We're going to do a supine twist. So pulling in our right knee towards our chest, just like standing leg extensions, except for lying down. Okay, let's pull the right knee over to the left side of our body. Right arm extends out to the right, looking towards the right. Okay, left leg is extended, and we are twisting our spine. And exhaling, twisting further. So you can touch the right knee down to the ground. Towards the ground anyways. All right, that's enough for that side. So return the right leg back to center. Let's hug the left knee in towards our chest. Oof. And let's pull the left knee over to the right side. Okay, left arm reaches out to the left. Ugh. Twisting our spine the opposite direction. Of course, releasing any tension. It feels great. Or should feel great. All right, let's return that left leg back over. Ugh. Let's sit on up. We're gonna do a cat cow. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Rolling up my mat. Finding all fours. And as always, connecting the breath with the movement. So breathing in, bring your head and bottom up, chest reaches down. And then exhale, rounding out the back, pushing the palms into the ground. Okay. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head back down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Inhale, head up. Oh. Exhale, head back down. Okay, two more. Inhale, head up. Ooh. Exhale, head down. Okay, one more cycle. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head back down. All right, coming to neutral spine, we're going to do a different thread the needle. So thread the arm through the hole you made with your left arm, drop the shoulder and head gently down to the ground. And let's rotate that right arm up to the ceiling for one. Threading through once again. Okay. Up to the top for two. Oof. Okay. Third time for the right. Last time up. Hopefully you feel that spine twisting in a good way. And then return the right arm down to the ground. Planting the palm. Now we're threading the left arm through. Okay. Left arm rotates up. We're threading back through. Okay. Rotating up for two. I think that's two. Last time, running that left arm through, left shoulder's ground. Last time up. And then let's return that left arm down. I'm going to unravel my mat. Sit on my heels, getting ready for a child's pose. Knees as wide as my mat. And then we're going to breathe in through the nose. Feel the chest expand. And as you exhale, come forward in a child's pose. Forearms and palms on the ground. Forehead or temples on the ground. And settle with your breath. And opposite how we looked at our bodies this morning. See how you feel now. Hopefully more awake. A little more stretched out. Continue to breathe deeply. We're going to add one more side stretch. So take that right hand out to the right.
And stack our left hand over the right hand. Yeah, stretch and go all the way down your left side. Ugh. Back to neutral. And then left hand out to the left, stacking our right hand over our left. All right, let's come back to neutral child's pose. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then as you exhale, come forward out of it, rotate onto your back for corpse pose. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, legs are relaxed. You're flat on your back. Arms are at your sides. Close your eyes. Do a body scan. Again, see how you feel. And I won't say anything for 60 seconds, starting in three, two, one. That was about a minute. So reach the arms up, point the toes at the bottom, give yourself a morning stretch. Yeah, that's needed. Wiggle to the left, over to the right. Arch your back. And then roll onto your side and rest your face on your hands. Take a moment for yourself. Whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the floor. Lead with the shoulder up in the air. Push yourself up. Back to where it all started. Let's do our three audible breaths. Sit up tall, breathing in through the nose, and breathe out with some sound. Number two, let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound.
Last one, breathing into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Bring our hands to our hearts. You may repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intentions. Raising our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Bringing our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. And returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friends.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank
Thank you for joining. No yoga next week.
Oh, it's already the holiday weekend? No.
I will be probably recovering from my event.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
All good.
Good luck with your event. Good luck with your job interview. All right.
Thank you. Good luck with it all.
All
Love
right.
is life. All
Okay.
right. See you, Risa.
See ya. All right. Bye.